you know what video I haven't posted yet? My TBR of 2014 January. So, I'm doing the 100 book challenge of 2014. Last year I tried to do 50, epically failed. But because I have a friend doing it with me, like a real life friend that I met in college, because I have a friend doing it with me, I am more motivated. The first book on my list to read in January, and I haven't started yet even though it's January 2nd, is The Evolution of Mara Dyer by Michelle Hoodkin. This is the second book in the Mara Dyer trilogy, and the third book comes out like later this month or this year, I don't know. But it comes out soon, that's all I know. And I just finished the first book, and the first book was one of my favorite books. I literally was so in love with it, and I'm probably going to do a review pretty soon. But I'm going to be reading this book because I just can't stay away from Mara Dyer and Noah, and goodness gracious. The second book I will be reading is Between the Devil and the Deep Blue Sea by April Genevieve Taluque. That is how I'm going to be pronouncing her last name from now on, is Taluque, because I don't know how to pronounce her real last name. This book is about the devil and the girl falling in love with him or something like that. I'm really not sure, but I think it's something like that. I just learned that the author lives in Oregon. I don't know why her last name is that. So the third book I will be reading in January is Peter Pan by J.M. Barrie. So, I'm in love with Peter Pan. I'm all things Pan. Like, you ask me who my favorite Disney character is, and I'm just like, Peter Pan. Next books I will be reading are 3 in a set because they all are binded together, and if I don't read the whole book at once, I'm just going to forget about them, and then I'm going to fail my challenge. So, they are The Vampire Chronicles by Anne Rice. This is a collection of the first 3 books out of the series. There are 10 books in the series, and the first 3 I will be reading because they all are in this golden page beautiful book. And they are Interview with the Vampire, The Vampire Lestat, and Queen of the Damned. Really, really good books that I've heard about. I heard the second book is better than the first. So I have to make it through the first book to get to the second book, and I cannot wait to read these books. And yeah. The 7th book I will be reading in January is Where Things Come Back by John Corey Whaley. I originally picked up this book and bought it because a booktuber recommended his subscribers to read it. And so I picked it up and I got to the 4th page. And I don't know what happened, but I think I got distracted by a different book coming out or something. And I just haven't read it yet. And I saw it sitting on my shelf and I was like, hey, I remember that was supposed to be a good book. The last and final book I will be reading in January is Rot and Ruin by Jonathan Mayberry. I think I've had this in my to-be-read pile for the past year because I picked it up around last Christmas. I started reading it and I was like, oh my god, I'm going to read this book. It's my favorite book ever. And then I set it down and forgot about it and left it at home while I went to college. Not my smartest plan. So I have been waiting to read this book. Not even waiting, just procrastinating. This book is about zombies, and I had an obsession with zombies, and I'm getting back into my obsession with zombies with Rot and Ruin because it is just such an amazing book that I've heard about. So those are my to-be-reads of the first month of the year, January of 2014. I'm pretty excited. I have a friend doing this with me, and she's doing 75 books. So we're both kind of on the same, read. But I've been Courtney, you've been lovely, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.